Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Mixed Nuts. Today we are going to talk about Gravit Designer. Alright, so lately there's been a lot of controversy to do with Adobe and their products. There's been some stuff going on with people using previous versions and Adobe only allowing you to use the last two. I've had issues with this before where bugs didn't get fixed for a while. And me needing to backtrack using a previous issue so I can see where people are coming from. And I don't want to get into a huge rant about this. That's possibly more for one of my off-the-cuff episodes, and this is more of a showcase of a piece of software I found. But the reason I'm doing this is because Adobe products aren't cheap, and a lot of people are not wanting to sign up to something that is... It's an investment. I mean, you're paying monthly, and I think you're going to end up paying quite a bit every month, even if you're just using one app. The whole cloud, if you're subscribing to that works out to be quite, it's a good deal for all the tools. But if you're only needing one or two, then there's not a lot of options to pay less. I think it's about something along $20 or $30 for a month per one tool, and then you're paying double that for all the tools. So there's not a lot of options in between, and I do understand that people would like a free option, or people who are getting into game design can't afford to get some of these more professional staple tools that the industry standards, I guess. And it's not always necessary, to be honest. There's a lot of free stuff around now. Saying that, I had a look at a lot of the free stuff. I've tried it. I didn't really like anything. Nothing really clicked with me and made me feel productive. I always found that I was having to use workarounds, and it always felt laborious to get stuff done, as opposed to something like Adobe Animate, which I like from one of the Adobe tools that I use often, because I used to use Flash and make games with it. And so now I use it for my graphics and animation. However, I would like to eventually possibly get away from it, because I really only do use that one tool a lot. Photoshop for some basic editing, but I mean, there's a lot of tools that can handle that. Now, I've been searching around, and recently I found this software called Gravit Designer. Now, this has also had a little bit of controversy around it after looking online, because apparently this used to be free, and then I don't know if another company took over or if the company decided to charge people. Not completely sure what happened there. I'll try and find some info on it. I just scanned over some of the stuff, but basically right now what they're doing is they give you a trial, which gives you the full version and all the tools, right? And if you like it, you can buy it. If you don't, it reverts to the free version, which cuts some of the features out. Now, let's have a really quick look at it. So vector illustration, all that sort of stuff down here, some testimonials, some talking about what you can do. It's pretty flexible and pretty good. Like, I've had a look, and I actually really like this one. This software clicks with me. There was a thing here. Like, let's have a look at the pricing. Where am I looking? This is just some telling you about what it can do. Discover all features. Let's have a look at that. Okay, we're not going to go through all of this, but basically it can do a lot. I mean, it's like it's kind of like Illustrator or whatever. Not sure if you're a really full-on user, if you're going to rate this. I had a look at what people are saying, and people seem to like the software quite a bit. So I think it possibly has quite a good reputation. But anyway, so here is some of the things that the differences, right? For example, for me, it would cost me $75 a year. Now, as opposed to using something like Flash or Adobe Animate right now, this would be a lot cheaper. Now, this doesn't do animation. Saying that, I am not using Flash animation as much as I thought I would be, only for a few little things. But I'll do another episode on animation software that could replace Adobe Animate. This is mainly for designing graphics, right? Construct 3, having brought in the tweening engine, actually helps me not have to use or animate certain things that I would have had to animate before. So now using tweening, I can actually get by with using a lot of different body parts, static graphics, and just make them move by code. Okay, so it does actually make it easier. But as you see, so the free version doesn't allow you to work offline, advanced export options, and version history. Okay, whereas you can have all that here. And here's more of a rundown of what's not available here. Okay, advanced path tools, things like that, master pages. But all in all, I mean, for simplistic graphics, if you're just trying to get something done for your game, I'm pretty sure it's all there. I think you can actually get some really nice stuff done. Now, one thing is, I'm pretty sure you have to sign in and make an account. So make an account and sign in to use the software. But it doesn't require you to buy anything or whatever. Like I said, my trial has now expired. I've had to play with this for a little while. And when you click buy now, it gives you that option to, you know, get the yearly, pay that yearly amount. Now, I understand how this works. Instead of people think, okay, you know, it's sort of like a subscription. I don't look at it that way. I look at it sort of like back in the day, you know, you would have had to buy a piece of software. This was before really the internet was big, and then you'd buy another piece of software, so like CorelDRAW 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. These days, you know, things change so quickly that they need to keep it up. So something like a yearly price for me, or a subscription, I guess, it's kind of just how it has to work. So I've got absolutely no problem with it. I think it's a very fast moving time, and you know, I know that a lot of people don't like subscription services, but I really feel like that's how things are moving. And those old times where you just bought like Construct 2, and then, you know, that's gone, I feel, because these guys need to do updates to it all the time. Same with this, you know, this needs to be updated all the time. And looking at Construct service, Skira's service to its customers, they're absolutely amazing. They're providing updates like every 2 weeks, new stuff coming all the time, right? So I completely get these subscription services, and I understand why they're there. So anyway, let's have a look at this. We've got some shapes, all that sort of stuff. So let's just try and put in a rectangle, right? So we'll draw that. We've got this rectangle here. Here you've got its position. Now we can also set a grid. Let's just step on the canvas here. We set a grid. I like using, I've played with this before, I like using multiples, you know, of 8. So 8, 16, 32. Just in case I'm using tiles or anything like that. Also, it nicely divides into the game sizes that I use for my defaults. So up to you guys what you want to use, but this is just my sort of little thing that I do. Does it snap? I haven't found, I need to find where you can snap to the grid, but either way, this is just a rough example. Okay, so if you want to make this bigger, for example, let's say I want to make it 320 by 320, that will make it the size of the document that I've created. So let's do like 128 by 128. Works very simply, as you see. So now we've got a square. Over here we can change the corners of it. Okay, you've got opacity, all that sort of stuff. See, you've got some different options for what you can do with your corners. Really brilliant. I think this is all non-destructive too, which means that you can always change the shapes without interfering. Like with Adobe Animate, for example, if I do something like this, then that's it. I cannot change it. I have to delete it and draw a new shape. I cannot, once I've touched a corner or changed it, I cannot any longer you know, it's destructive. Basically, I'm trying to explain if you don't understand what I'm talking about. So we've got this, right? Let's create another shape. I just gave you guys a quick example of what we can do. Let's make, okay, if you hold down shift, it constrains both X and Y axes. Let's make this white. Where do I change color? It's been a little while since I've played with this, so color. Where am I? Oh my god. Let's have a look. People are probably like, it's staring you in the face, dude. Fills right here. There you go. Okay, so let's select white. Let's move it into the middle. Let's go Command C, Command V. Did that work? Yes, it did. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. Change that to black. chuck it on top of that. Now let's take another one, copy it again. Let's turn it into white again. Just giving you guys a quick example of something you can do. Let's put it over here and make another one. Make it a little bit smaller even, and put it down here. Let's change the body to, I don't know, greenish. Can we find one? I am a little bit colorblind, guys, so if this isn't green, I apologize. Okay, something like along these lines. And here you go, little alien type shape. Okay, as you see, it's really easy to use. I can go function and command and zoom, and scroll wheel will zoom and go back out. I can grab the screen and drag it around. I can pan, all that sort of stuff. It's got everything that I've used in other tools, right? And you can do things like groups as well. So you can group selection, so you can grab the whole thing and drag it around, and then if you double click on it, you can select the different parts. You can also select the different parts by selecting this. Oh, okay, so I've gone inside it, have I? So I double click on here, and that brings me back to, it's sort of like in Adobe Animate. If I double click on it, it takes you inside, and if I double click on the stage, it takes me back outside. The other way you can do it is tap on it once and then tap on it again, okay, instead of double clicking, and that way it will allow you to select the shape. So something like this, and I want to select the white, so there you go, really easy. And you can use move the stuff inside it. Now if you have a look here, you can see the different parts of the group and select them here as well, and you can obviously name the different parts. It's really brilliant piece of software, I have to say. I really enjoy the way it works. Now I am showing you the online version because the again the downloadable one is the Pro feature, and so this is kind of a cool thing too, because if you're ever, I don't know, in a cafe on another computer, you want to load up the software and you want to do a little bit of work, you can. You could be on holiday, you forgot to take your stuff, I don't know, I'm just throwing around some ideas, and you haven't got access to your normal equipment. You could easily load this up, have your file stored in the cloud, do a little bit of work, you know, and nothing stopping you. And from what I can see, this is working really nicely in the browser. So I am a big fan of browser software, because I think, again, this is another with Construct 3, absolutely amazing. Okay, I've made what is it now, 18 games with it this year, little ones. They're small games, but oh my god, it's working like a dream, better than anything I've ever used. So, you know, I think people that are against it should check it out and give it a chance, because some of this stuff I really do see potential in it. And I think possibly installing to your hard drive, you know, the old school way of doing things is maybe it is getting a little bit old, and I don't know. I really do like this approach, having online software that you can load anywhere from your browser. You know, it's very nice cross-platform capability, and and you don't have to mess with like losing, you know, like every time. So many times in the past when I had to like reinstall my operating system and then reinstall my software. Now I don't have to worry at all. I literally just go back to, I haven't even bothered to try and install offline version of Construct 3. I just do all my work online, and I've had absolutely no issues. Store all my stuff in the cloud. Everything is working perfectly. So, you know, maybe if you are used to an old way of working, give this a chance, because it really is nice. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a really quick rundown. I know this isn't exactly a piece of art, but it shows you very quickly what you can do. Obviously, you can do a lot of advanced stuff like cutting shapes and things like that, and combining shapes, and again, non-destructive work, which is really cool because you can always edit stuff later without having to do the whole thing again. And yeah, the free version seems to have everything you need to just create simple stuff. If you want a little bit more advanced, more options, then yeah, the paid version seems to be a pretty good deal. I'll have a look into some animation options. I have one, and it's pretty much the only one I would consider for animation, to be honest. There are others, again, free ones. I haven't found anything that I really click with, but this one that I'm going to talk about possibly next week is very good. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.